La Sofia Fula Jamajanadan, Nalamin Ian Paniwala Hina, Na Scottish Hina, Tilda Bissam, Nala Sem, Nepal Rimula.
Yes, Rush.
Today I've given the cameraman duties over to my good friend Vijay's son Ayus and his wee pal Aryan Tamang. The only brief I gave them was don't move the camera too quickly and just show me the village, and I think they've done a pretty good job. Whilst they're doing that, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Tamang culture. Tamang is a word you'll have heard on this channel already a number of times, and anyone who's been following the work of the Bimiri Foundation over the years will know that Bimiri is a Tamang village, meaning that all of the population of Bimiri are made up of the ethnic group Tamang. Tamang people originated from Tibet. In the Tibetan language, Ta means horse and Mang means trader. There are estimated to be around 1.8 million Tamang people worldwide, although most of these live in Nepal, around 1.5 million. They can be found in the hilly areas outside of the Kathmandu Valley, as well as up in the Langtang Mountains, southern Bhutan, and some in northern India like Sikkim and Darjeeling and places like that. Although Tamang is one of the largest ethnic groups of Nepal, there are many, many others. Tamang society runs on a clan system. Traditionally, Tamang landholdings were divided based on clan affiliation, and clans also had varying social structures and practices, including intermarriage restrictions with certain clans, which sounds not too dissimilar to the way that traditionally Scottish people used to live. I've spent quite a lot of time around Tamang people now over the years, and one of the most striking things about them is their sense of community. The normal thing to say to somebody as they pass you in the street in a Tamang village or neighbourhood would be La Sofia Fula. This is basically just their equivalent of Namaste, if you're aware of that one. And the next thing that they tend to ask is Sheba Solje, and it means have you eaten? Because they genuinely care if their neighbour has had enough food that day. The chap on the right here with the doku basket is Ayus's grandfather. Like in many Asian cultures, Tamang people tend to live the whole extended family under one roof, and now you see his cousin Samina chasing him out of the room. I've known both Ayus and Samina since they were in their mother's stomachs, so it's absolutely wild to see how big they've gotten nowadays. Both of their dads, Vijay and Vishal, two brothers who are very dear friends of mine, are working down in India because, like many Nepali people, there's no opportunity for work in Nepal, so they have to leave the country to send money home for their families. And actually around a quarter of Nepal's GDP is made up of this money, which is known as remittance. In Bimiri, like many villages in Nepal, most families will have at least one family member who's living out of country, be it in India or the Arab states, or even as further afield as Europe or America. However, it's very difficult for Nepali people to travel. They have one of the weakest passports in the world. It's actually weaker in terms of visa-free travel than the North Korean passport. According to the Henley Passport Index, Nepal ranks 103rd, meaning that they can travel visa-free to only 40 countries, whereas North Korea, ranking at 101, can travel to 42 countries. Now compare that with the British passport, ranked 3rd on the Henley Index. We can travel to 192 countries visa-free. So if anyone ever tries to tell you there's no such thing as passport privilege, please tell them they're wrong from me. I'm going to speed my little apprentice cameraman up now, because I've been told these videos are far too long. But before I go, just a quick update on the fundraising side of things. Since the start of 2024, we've raised around £2,800, and the credit for a huge chunk of that goes to Emma down at the No. 3 Heworth Cafe in York. Emma's organised a raffle in her cafe, as well as selling handcrafted cards, and has had a knitting circle in the cafe, working their fingers to the bone to raise money for the cause. Thank you all so much, ladies. You've done so well. You've raised over £600. That is amazing. Thank you. And just a few more shout outs to the legends on the Just Giving page. A few of you donated to TBF as a birthday present for me recently, which was very kind of you. Shout outs to Gwyneth and Patrick, Erin and Jane Coleman. A big shout out to Eric, who's a regular donator to TBF, to this anonymous legend, and to the Fraser family. And also to Helen, Mark and William. Thank you all so much. And the last thanks goes to anyone who's still watching this video at this point. You are the absolute best of the best. Thank you again.